Hey guys, welcome to the Jen Lowry Wright Show. And today we have got a topic that I think all of us need to just go ahead and address, discuss some ways to deal with it, and just understand that it is going to happen if you're out there in an online community. I don't care what platform you're on. There could be a possible troll or someone that's out there that will find your channel, they will find your material, your content, your lives, your post, and because you have shared it out to the public, you do have this open opportunity for someone to get on and be negative, and it can be so totally against what you stand for, and they can still do it. And so we got to face that fact that it's going to possibly happen. So if you know something could possibly happen, let's say it hasn't happened yet. Let's say you're lucky and you've been out online community and you have had such a positive experience and you go, well, that would never happen to me. Go ahead and knock on wood because it can happen to anybody. And so if you think that you're immune to that, I would feel better if you would just take this time right now and let's chat through it. Let's talk through what happens if. So we're going to do a what if scenarios. Because if this happens to you, you don't have the fear of the unknown anymore. You've already processed it out in your head. You've already had this opportunity to sit and say, okay, well, if A happens, and then what is going to be my response? And so that's what I want us to go and talk through today. Because I think that it's just going to help you out in the long run. First, you need to decide, do you want something for the short term and this doesn't even, matter? Or are you looking for a long-term build, a long-term platform? Me, I'm praying that this is something that is for the long term for me. And so I have also been online in this public figure atmosphere, gosh, I'm saying since 2014, 16, I don't even know. It's been a long time, okay? And I have had some crazy stuff happen in the online world with people making comments. They would get on when I was doing a live. They would joke my accent. They would joke my house and say, don't you think you need a better couch? And why are you there? And then they would make very inappropriate comments. And I'd have my child in the video to where we would have to just keep deleting out the comments. And at first, I didn't know quite how to handle it. And over time, I realized that this is a part of streaming and part of lives. You could be involved in some toxic mess. But that doesn't mean it has to change your message, and it's how you react to it in real time that's really going to show your sense of understanding your place in an online community. So if you are the streamer, you are pretty much the leader of that environment. You are in control of that environment. And it's your job to protect the people that are around you, that come to you, that are on your channels, that are listening to you, because they don't need that toxicity. They don't need that mess. They're there to have a good time with you. They're following you because you bring them joy. And so your place needs to have a healthy environment. Tell me about what you think of tension in a room. You realize that when there is some type of negative energy, this ball of gook, that can be felt. That tension can build. It will either allow you to become frustrated if you let it. It will get you down. You will start second guessing yourself. Or it will then filter out into your chat. It will filter out into your room. And then the people around in that room, they'll be like, no, this isn't a good place. This isn't a place where I feel comfortable. So I want to talk with you about some ways that you can handle that. But we just really have to talk about it all. And I know it's kind of negative to sit about this kind of stuff, but it's going to help you in the long run. If one, you face that it could happen to you at any time, it's just a part of it. And two, you're going to get through it. So it's going to be okay. So it could happen. You're going to be okay. And number three, how can you continue to stay present in the moment when it happens? So there's different ways that you will have like this reaction to a negative response, like a negative experience. It's going to elicit some type of response from you. You're either going to shut down, you're going to shut it off, you're going to shut yourself completely away from the community because you don't want to deal with the confrontation, or you're going to say, in the face of adversity, get behind me, Satan, whatever. Go live your life, somebody else's life and somebody else's chat, not mine. Move out the way and keep going. And are you going to allow to let it steal your joy? Or are you actually going to continue to be in that present moment? Because when something negative starts going to the chat and when you see it, you start panicking maybe in your mind. You go, oh my gosh, not again. There's a troll. What in the world? Why can't they just leave me alone? And then you start feeling defensive. You start feeling angry. Well, that is going to take away your focus. When you're a streamer, it does require a lot of mental energy and a lot of focus, especially if you're game playing and you're in the moment and you need to really capitalize on your skill. Or if you're in a tutorial and you're teaching someone something, you need to have that teacher hat on, and you don't want to get distracted. All that is a serve of a distraction for you. And I don't want it to be that way ever. I want you to be able to get a grip on that, handle it, and move on and continue to be present with your community, because your community cares about you or they wouldn't be there. Shoot, your community might start standing up for you. We got to talk about that one too. One thing I love about streaming, and it's completely different than when I'm making a structured video, like a structured episode. You guys are a part of my life, and my kid is getting ready to have piano lessons in just a minute. And that was an alarm. We're doing Zoom piano lessons with his teacher right now. So I got to set up this other computer. So you guys hang tight with me a little bit. That's the thing, like, this is all like so stress-free for me. I'm not even worried about it. My computer is like so slow. Been charging it up for like the past hour. I'm gonna have to go set up my email for him, so that way when she messages in, I'm gonna run over and give it to him. She usually will start just a few minutes early, so I'm gonna text him just to remind him to. Okay. Don't forget. Get her up and we'll run it over. Okay. So if you've been watching any of the past episodes that I've been making over the last couple of days, I'm really wanting you to hone in on your why and to go ahead and determine your why for doing what you're doing. That can be a strong motivator for you when something toxic happens, because you understand that this is like a greater purpose than this toxicity, this one thing, this one person, this group of people. Um, I will tell you that there can be people that will be toxic to the point where they will create additional accounts just to post the same thing. And you know that it's the same person. It's just that they're now having all of these fake accounts. Well, you've got choices. You can shut down your content that you're trying to build your platform, your message, you're trying to connect authentically with your people. You can shut it down because of that, or you can just block and hide the notifications and mute the person. Just keep hitting the mute button. I mean, you've got to be able to know what your why is for. So, over on YouTube, I do have a lot of my channels set up for kid friendly. Because of that, I talk about kids' books and I talk about middle grades, and I'm an author for those age groups. I run a writing group for teenagers. So if they want to get on and they want to read my stuff, I really don't want a lot of trolls over there putting really inappropriate stuff in some of my videos. And so I made the decision to make my channel kid friendly there. Well, then that caused another issue. Then if I'm doing a live and I'm wanting to chat with people and engage with people during a chat, like for example, I had a live party on Friday night and I posted it everywhere. And I was like, I'm on Twitch and I'm on YouTube. I'm doing the dual streaming for the conference. I'm learning how to do the dual streaming and handling the chats and everything. And if I wouldn't have removed that kid friendly piece, then people were not going to be able to go in and chat with me during the live vision board party. And it was, share your Bible verses, share things that you would like to work on, personal goals, social, emotional well-being goals, not just author goals. We talked about health and fitness. We talked about, your psychological well-being, all of that. And so that one was really, I mean, kids could do it. Y'all know I'm clean content anyway. So I was like, okay, but in order for me to engage with people, be able to talk with them about their goals and really help them through this process of planning their own party, you do need to have a chat. So I would make some of my videos now where it's not for kids necessarily, that it can be open to chat. When I do that, then there will be someone posting inappropriate things in the comments, and then I just have to monitor it every day because I would not want younger kids or families to sit and watch my channel and they expect clean content and even see things in the comments. That's not appropriate. That's not what they need to see. So I've learned over time, just check daily, and then I would hit hide, mute, and all of that. And then the same post would be placed up, and I would just hit hide, mute, and then, say, well, it was during the live when people could post comments. Now they don't need to anymore. Like, you have to make decisions on how you're going to run your chat in your channel, but please don't allow it to stifle you and to stop you, because that can happen. You can say, instead of dealing with this confrontation, and there's different ways to deal with it. It doesn't mean that you have to respond to them on a reply and add a comment. That's not the way you have to deal with it. Because I'm not a confrontational person. Guys, can't you tell? Like, I'm like so chill. I'm so laid back. Like, I don't like arguing. I don't like fussing. No kind of drama. And sometimes people like that, people consider them to be weaker. And they'll say, hey, because they don't like confrontation, they are weak. I can pick at them. It doesn't mean that I'm weak. I am strong. I am strong in the Lord. And I have had to deal with tons of stuff that nobody even knows what I have to deal with. And so for that is a misconception and a big old myth when people think that just because you are trying to avoid confrontation, that means you're weak. No, it actually means that you're mature and you don't have time for that, and you don't look at that as being a valuable exchange in your life, it's not going to bring you value. So why engage in it? Because you could be doing other things that could bring you joy. And so there's a big difference in that. All right, guys, I'm going to mute my mic a second. I'm going to go run over to the kids for their for his piano lesson, and I'll be right back. Take a break. Why do I wave? I don't know. I wave. I do it. I can't help it. Okay. So just dropped off that. So people that allow negativity to be around them, and you heard what I said. I said you're allowing it. People that allow it and they don't have these ways to cope with it and deal with it, especially if they're non-confrontational people, you can actually have negative effects to where it will not only just drain your energy, it will really start to affect you. You will start second guessing yourself as a person out in the public world. You'll say, is it worth all of this? And that's where you're going to have to know your why and understand that you matter. And if somebody is being a troll, they're sad and they need our prayers. Really, they do. They need our prayers. And I know you think that that's just, come on, really, Jen? You're telling me to pray for them? Yeah, I am. I'm telling you to pray. One, I'm telling you to say, get behind me, Satan, and just keep going and do not skip a beat. Do not fear, because the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. That's Joshua 1:9. You need to take that Bible verse. I'm going to put it over here, Joshua 1:9, and hold on to that. And so don't fear it. Just deal with it. Now, I'm going to give you some different scenarios, and these are true things. These are things that have happened to me. And so you can see how I dealt with them. And you can say, wow, you probably should have done it that way, or you should have done it that way. But now that I've done this long enough and I've been out there enough, then I've been able to say, maybe these things have happened to me, so I can sit today on June 15th, 2020, and tell you to be strong about it and don't stop sharing your message. So I was doing a Facebook Live, and I have done quite a few Facebook Lives where some extremely hurtful, negative things have been popping up in the chat. And I would be sitting there talking about a new book release. And all of a sudden, you can laugh, go ahead, because I'm smiling about it. Somebody asked me, was I cooking squirrels on the grill in the backyard? And I know they were joking my accent. Well, you know what? I went to a writing retreat with Matt De La Pena, and he sat there and he said, are you online or something? Do you read out? Because I could listen to your voice all day. And I was like, yes. That gave me the courage. After that, I was just like, I can't change my voice. I don't want to. And guys, I get really, really slang or get really excited about something. And that's fine. That's a part of who I am. And you know who knows that? The people that care about me, the people that follow me. They're not with me in my community because of the way that my voice sounds. They could care less. They're with me because they enjoy being with me, and they're my people. So I was in the middle of this live, and they start joking my accent. And then they start joking country. And then and it's these stupid comments. And I'm like, really? Is that all you got? And I'm like, well, I've had deer and rabbit before, but I've never had a squirrel. But I do know people that eat them. And I just kept right on. And I'm like, they didn't comment anymore because I was smiling. I was continuing to be me. Now they could have continued to fire back. Now, when the person made a comment about my my house and was talking about my personal living space, I was just thinking, I'm not even going to comment about what you're saying to me right now because that's just, I can't come back on that because it's just, no, I'm not even going to waste my energy. So I saw the comment and I just kept talking and I just did not allow, it to stop me. And then when someone else was in the chat with me and they saw the negative comment, then they pulled back and they had a really big positive comment. And I knew probably what they were doing. Like they were like psychologically they were probably over there in their house going, oh my gosh, somebody's just talking junk to Jennifer. How dare they talk that to my friend? And so then they started doing all this positive stuff and sending me all these hearts. And then it was funny because I kind of knew like where it was coming from, but I appreciated it so much. So I can tell you, you can have people that will actually go to battle with you when you build a great, positive, strong community. People will be like, get off the stream, get off of here. We're not like that in this community. We don't have time to listen to that. And I had another experience, and it was really, really like bad. Okay, I'm going to give you this one. So the squirrel on that one was kind of funny, right? So I was doing another Facebook Live, and here I am doing a Bible study. So I had the Bible out with me. I'm directing it to moms. It was a mom study about leading your kids. So I was being very specific. I'd had the materials made out for the kids. I had given it away for free for anybody that came to the Bible study with me. I was doing like a little Bible study series because it went along with one of my books for the Everyday Mom Challenge. So I was like, you know what, this would be a great way just to do like this little, kind of like a mini Bible study session. And I was only going to do it for like 4 weeks. It wasn't long. It wasn't something I was going to do every day. It was like once a week. It was like Wednesday night Bible study. It was perfect because my son was going to jujitsu and I was having to drive him at the time. So I was making videos a lot with my phone, just like I make the podcast with my phone. So I was in the car, it's different. Like when you're on a computer looking at chat too, that can change the way you're checking all that out. So somebody got on and said, how dare you talk about this Bible study? You're a woman and you're not able to have Bible study. And I did not know who this person was. It was an account that was no friend of mine. I didn't recognize the name, but it got on my public site, the public Facebook Live. And they said, women have to be silent. You need to shut up. And it started going really like argumentative. And I wasn't saying anything back. I was continuing to have my discussion. And I would say, all right, my mom's out there, and I had a friend who was doing the Bible study with her kids. Because, as you know, my channel's clean. So if you're watching me right now, you don't have to worry about what kind of content is ever going to be on my channels. So if your kids are walking through the room, or if you've got guests over, you can have me up on the TV and you don't have to say, oh, I got to mute her because there's no telling what's going to come out of her mouth. And I really don't want, no, I'm clean content. And so that's what my families, or that's what anybody that's watching my channels, they expect that from me. They're going to get that from me, but they also deserve a place where they do not have to be heckled or any kind of negativity. This is not what I'm about. Instead of me banning the person, which I should have done, they made over 50 comments, long comments. It was like they wrote a personal narrative, this personal essay against me, talking to moms about putting on the armor. It was like a Bible study in Ephesians. And I was like, what is happening? My friend was on there with her kids, and she went into protective mode, and she was responding back. Can you please stop commenting? She was doing it. She was not a moderator. I didn't understand about needing moderators. Can you please stop? We're having Bible study. Can you please get off this channel? And she was saying, can you please stop this? She has the right to make a live video about whatever she wants. You just don't have to watch it. And I was thinking, and I know she was getting worked up because she's not confrontational either. And it was like, why is this person continuously doing this in the chat? And I really just continued without moving over and hitting these 3 buttons that say put user in timeout or block user, because I have these buttons. Because I was so new at all of that and I didn't quite know how to navigate the platform, instead of blocking them right away, it went on for 50-some comments. And here goes another viewer having to try to come in and get this person to stop, which they clearly were writing all of this negative stuff. They weren't going to stop. They must have been having this great old time. And I'm like, what in the world? After it was over, the comments were all there. I didn't stop it for the entire study. It was like a 30-minute stream. And I was messaging my friend, and I was like, 1, thank you for being there with me tonight for this stream. I had to thank her. I'm sorry that you had to put up with that. I really didn't know how to handle it. And then I talked to my kids, and my kids were like, Mama, why didn't you just block them? And I went, oh, I can do that? Y'all, please do not allow that kind of toxic mess to live around you. 1, it's not fair for the people that are in your chat to have to deal with that kind of stuff. And it can create tension on their end, even if you learn how to handle it. Like even if you can continue to entertain or teach or share and kind of ignore all of that going on, like what I was doing, like I would see the comment, like I could glance over like I'm doing now, like look over at my comment, and then I would just continue to teach Bible study, just keep doing what I'm doing. I had my notes all here. I was focused, and I was like, I'm not going to stop. It would have taken me really 5 seconds to just move over while I'm smiling and put that person in timeout, put that person in a block. I mean, I could have done it so quick, but because I was inexperienced, I was just like, I'm not going to let this person get to me. And I did my thing. However, it was getting to my friend that was in the chat, and she didn't deserve that. And so I learned a lesson kind of the hard way. And I apologized to her. I'm like, girl, I'm learning this stuff. Since then, I pretty much can do the same thing. People start talking about how I'm grilling out the squirrels. Doesn't bother me a bit. I make a funny comment back. I'm not really that quick on my feet. Usually, I can think of things to say like an hour later that I can say, Dad, that was something funny. I could have had a great comeback. And then if they stop, they stop. If they keep on, then I can block them. If they say something stupid about my couch or, why are you there or whatever, hello? Do you really want to make a comment like that? Do you really want to be like that weird to where like you're like investigating and surveying my interior design? Like, that's just a little weird. I just completely ignored it, kept on talking, and then my friends just rallied behind, and all my community was just constantly going and chatting because I was in the middle of a live event and I was celebrating a new book release. So, what was my why? Was my why to get caught up in that mess or to actually be present with my family, my friends, all my writing buddies, my author community? I had tons of people on there with me. And then I get some random person just popping in and trolling and then popping right out again. And I just continue to have the party. But now I know the buttons and I will not be afraid to use them and to ban them and to block them because you have to protect your community. Don't sit there and say, oh, I can allow all of that mess, sticks and stones, bring up, all that. Yeah, but you don't need it though. You don't even need to waste the time. Don't waste the energy on it because really it's going to happen to everybody. It's how your response is to the mess that's really going to set you apart. And then if you stand up for your viewers, your listeners, your friends, the people that are there for you, your community, if you stand up for them, then they're going to feel safer around you. They're going to trust you a little bit more. And they're going to say, wait, this is a place where we can be ourselves. We can still have this form of like whatever they're going to your channel for entertainment, for value. They're getting something out of that. And it's positively feeding them, whatever it is. You are giving them something that is a positive, or they would not have subscribed to you or followed you. Protect them and just ban people and don't feel guilty about it. So when you ban somebody or you put them in timeout, should you have guilt related to that? Heck no. There's no guilt to that. That person should have been doing that to start with. And you know what? How many of y'all watch the Super Nanny? Now, if you have not seen them old shows of the Super Nanny, I love me some Super Nanny. And I can't tell you, I have raised 2 kids up on the Super Nanny. And when they were young, we would watch the Super Nanny just to be amazed at what was going on the screen. That those kids would be vile, like really bad. They were like trolls in their own house. And I'd be like, oh my gosh. And that parent is putting, oh my gosh. And then the Super Nanny would come on the timeout chair. She'd say, sit there, do a timeout chair and all that. Do you think Super Nanny felt any guilt when she was trying to deal with negative behaviors and negative, actions? No, Super Nanny was doing her job. You need to be the Super Nanny over your own channels. And you need to know that it's for the good of the channel. If you ban, block, or put people in timeout, whatever you want to do, whatever decisions that you make, but you need to do it and continue to love yourself and love your community because you cannot allow it to negatively affect your message. So you can go and just sulk about it and worry about it and say, oh my gosh, okay, so somebody is getting on my channel and they're putting like really bad links on my channel. Am I going to sit there and stop my channel? Or am I going to protect the families and the people that come to my channel because they know that they can get clean content? And if people are putting something inappropriate, I'm hiding it. I'm deleting it. I'm moving on. And then they're creating new accounts and they're trolling it with all these multiple names. And I'm just removing it. And eventually, hopefully, it'll stop because they'll realize that this place isn't a place where they're going to be able to get any clicks and hits. Because one, my audience doesn't put up with stuff like that. They're not going to go for things like that. So you might as well move on. And I'm just going to continue to hide, but it's not going to stop me from sharing my tutorials or having write-ins or being here with you trying to encourage you how to deal with toxic mess. Because that's me. I'm going to continue in the face of all that stuff. So I've talked with you about two really negative experiences that have happened to me. I have had someone on a YouTube channel video actually write, I hope you die, on one of my Bible study videos. And I'm like, wow, I hope you suffer, I hope you die. I'm like, why would you feel in your sorry life that you have the right and the authority and the power to be able to say whatever you want to say on some random stranger's post? I was just taken aback. And this was way early on when I was, making YouTube videos. And I had a choice. I could let it sit there and let it be amongst all the other comments of, oh, this is helpful. Thank you. Or I could completely delete it and pray for that soul and continue to move on. And you know which one I did. I prayed for them and I said, Lord, fix her heart, whatever it is that they've got going on, whatever it is, I'm really sad for them right now. And just please help them. And then I just moved on and I made my next video and I posted it. I mean, it can happen to me. I'm an old lady who's streaming and trying to encourage and motivate you. And I'm trying my best for everybody that I meet to be a help, to be a comfort, to be here for people. Not everybody in the world is going to be 100% your fan or your follower. And then there's just going to be some random trolls. Everybody's not meant to be with me, but my people that are with me, they do love me and they care about me. And they're very thankful for the help. And I get the emails that say, thank you so much for teaching me how to do so-and-so. Like my teaching videos, my tutorials, I know that they've helped a lot of people. So when I get those emails, that kind of just helps me, not to say that I need it for this ego pour, but it's always nice to hear positive things. But it's like, would I take down that whole video because someone said in the comments, she doesn't know how to find this for the dissertation. I have no idea what she's talking about. This is so confusing. So then I get the email that says, I've shared it with our professor, with all the learners. I'm talking about it. They're wanting the links, blah, blah, blah. I mean, just do your thing and be positive and do not stoop. And do not get down on their level. And I know you've heard this talk, so I can be Mama Bird right now. And I can tell you, do not make a reply. Do not comment back. Just politely go over to your little button that's right here on the side and block that mess. Time that person out. Put them in that little sleeper nanny chair. Do whatever you got to do. Hide it. Notify it, do whatever. But do not start an online vocal back and forth exchange. And so that experience that I had where that person had put over 50 comments about how a woman should not be having any kind of discussion about the Bible, and it was titled For Moms, and I was talking about them leading Bible studies with their kids. And he was doing or whoever it is, she was doing all these comments. I completely ignored all the comments and I got my message out. However, it would have been so easy for me to go over there. So that way my friend wouldn't have had that negative experience. Give your chat the ability to chat in a safe, in a fun, in an entertaining environment where they can really build community there. You start pouring in some toxic stankness up in there, that's just going to be vile. And people are going to be like, I don't want to be listening to, I don't want to be around that. Their chat is so toxic. I don't even want to say anything because I'm scared to say anything. And groups can be like that because I've been witness to that myself. So as part of online communities, I have participated in an online community where people can get on and make extremely negative posts, and they can do it in a sneaky way. So, for example, they might not use your name, but they're being so specific about a topic and their post that you can so read between the lines. It's not a big stretch. And you say, wait, I know exactly who they're talking about. I know what they're trying to say. That's very hurtful what they just did. And they think that they're slick and sly and funny, but they're not. They're sad. And so you as a moderator or you as a leader of a group, you need to come up with rules for your group. And you need to do it before you ever stream. Because I didn't do that at the beginning. I didn't know how to handle it in these situations. Yes, I would ignore it and stuff, but I didn't know how to deal with it until after my kids taught me how. So contact other people, watch videos if you don't know how to block people, if you don't know how to hide. Teach yourself how to do that and go ahead and also get yourself moderators, especially if you're in a room and your chat is blowing up. Because your job as the streamer, as the content creator, or whatever it is that you're doing in the moment, your job is to be present and to carry out your conversations or play your game or do what it is that you're doing, a tutorial. Whatever it is, that's what you should be focused on. And like I said, you've got all this mental energy that it takes to do this life. My hat is off to anybody who is a creative artist or anyone who is doing content, because it is a lot. And so you don't really need to kind of deal with all of that stuff. What you could do is look over occasionally. You could call out somebody in your chat. I have the ability to click a button and then it shows chat up on the screen, and you can do some call outs to connect with your community. But you don't need to be going over there and saying, ban Jen Lowry. Ban Jen Lowry now. Put Jen Lowry in timeout to your moderators. You need to go ahead and set up parameters with your moderators. So I have 2 moderators that are on my Twitch channel because I love Twitch. I absolutely love being over on Twitch. And I know that just like with my podcast, when I started Everyday Mom Challenge Ministries years ago, I knew that I was going to be a consistent online presence. And when I started the podcast 2 years ago, it was daily because I love sharing. I love teaching people stuff and talking about the writing journey. I love being out there helping and connecting with people. I learned so much from other people. Like, it's amazing about online communities for me. And I'm an introvert, love kind of being in my little space. But when I'm connected with my online people, that's my heart, y'all. That's my people. So I'm not going to stop. I'm just better now at organizing myself in this online community and understanding that toxicity will occur. It has happened to me. I have got story after story to talk about how people have tried to troll my stuff. But then not only do I know how to handle it, now I'm ready to tell you guys what you should do. So get yourself some moderators, but set it up. So for example, my moderators are not about the timeout thing. My moderators are like, no, bump that. We're banning. We are banning. So they're banning, B for banning, out the door. So if they see something, they have right then, without getting my permission, and they know me so well that they know what I would expect in a chat from my people and what other people would want out of a chat. I want a fun place where we can engage and we can communicate and we can talk together, and just relax and just chill together. That's it for me. That's the place that I want to create in whatever online platform I'm on. Whether it's I'm doing, YouTube, or I'm here on Twitch, or I'm doing the dual stream to learn about the conference. Because if we don't get this stuff under control now, on the day of the big conference, could you imagine people trying to make all of this negative comments or something while you've got Harper Collins sitting there and you're doing a stream with the biggest people in the industry? Like, oh no, hey, I'm talking about how to do not say sorry to disrupt. I'm just glad you're here. I'm talking about how to deal with toxic mess. If people start coming at you with a toxic chat, how you can combat that and still be present in the moment. And I am talking from years of experience on social media platforms. And I have given like examples. Hey, Tish, love you. I've got Tish over on YouTube. She's waving. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know. We're over here on Twitch, too. We're doing the dual platforms because we're learning how to do dual platforms for this big free writers conference. And now we're talking about toxic mess. Yay. Tish has joined us, too. Yeah. I'm telling you, Tish, you won't believe some of the toxic junk. I'm sorry you missed the beginning of the stream when I gave specific examples, like how someone was trolling with like over 50 negative comments that were thanks, Tish. Yeah, they were like extremely vile. And instead of me going over and hitting the 3 buttons that I have now that say, that you can block the person, you can time the person out. Instead of doing that, I allowed those comments just to continue to stream and to go in the chat, and I didn't have a moderator. And so my friend was on it with her kids and they were watching it, and my friend was taking up for me. She was like going to battle. The people that are in your chat don't need to go to battle for you. You shouldn't have a chat like that. So you're going to have to learn those kind of moderator tips in case somebody gets on some random troll. That way you can be the leader, or you can have your moderators understand what to do. So I was saying I have 2 moderators, and my moderators, we had to have that come to Jesus meeting. Well, what happens if this scenario happens? What happens if this happens? So we called out different scenarios because it's the fear of the unknown that's going to block you in the present, because you're going to say, oh no, what do I do? I don't know how to handle this. It's better to do scenarios because it could happen to you, and you need to be aware that because you're out on these platforms, there can be trolls. So the more prepared you are, it's going to allow you to be in the present in that moment with your people, and you'll be able to continue to be positive. You'll continue to be able to engage. You will not allow that toxicity to start messing with your mind and pulling you down, because then that person that's in there doing that trash, they're winning if you're allowing them to steer you away from your focus. And I was talking about the mental energy that it takes to be a streamer, and how much I applaud streamers and content creators, because you're out there, connecting with people every day. You're out there really trying to make a difference and just give people a sense of community and connection. And I'm sad that it can happen to you. I'm really sad. And I'll pray for those people that are out there right now, popping in on channels and trying to troll and do all of that. But I'm also praying for the streamers and the creative artists, because guys, y'all need prayer. You've got to build the full armor up, because when somebody goes in there and they start doing some little mess like that, you've got to understand where it's coming from. So that way you can just block it all and say, bump that, that's not happening. Because if you allow the toxic mess to live, then it's going to just like seep out like a poison. And not only is it going to affect you as a creator, you're going to say, what am I doing here? I must not have any value or worth to share. This person doesn't know you and they don't care about you. That's not your community. That is some randomness. Okay. That's not your people. Understand that. When you understand all of that, and we talked about the why again, Tish, like if you got your why, no matter what's coming at you from whatever angle, your why is going to be the thing that says, oh, I just had some toxic mess happen. And then you can text one of your friends and say, you won't believe this mess. Somebody talking about me grilling out squirrels and asking me, don't I need to go buy a new couch? And what am I doing in this area of the house? And talking junk. Just talking pure mess about interior design. I mean, it can be such a silly junk, but then it can be like, I hope you die. It can, yeah, I mean, it can get really crazy. I hope you have pain and I hope you suffer. Like, I got that on some of my videos in the past, and I'm like, it's going to happen. But are you going to allow it to stop you and stop the message that you have? Or are you going to continue to plow through? And so I say, don't have guilt when you need to ban somebody, and trust your moderators. You need to go ahead and set yourself up a couple of moderators in case you get a situation where you are having a large party, a large stream, especially if you're having an event. So let's say you're having a charity event, or let's say you're having something that's like you're doing giveaways, or you're having some type of party, and you're not able to really be in the moment and handle the chat because it could be an explosive chat that's full of energy. Go ahead and assign yourself moderators. It's really easy to do. Watch some YouTube videos on how to set up your moderators. Get people in your family, get some friends. Say, look, I need some help. I'm having this event. If you know, because you don't want negative energy inside that room. So I have 2 moderators that have already been assigned to my channel, and we've already had the discussions, and they're like, nope, it's ban time. We're not even going to do the timeout. We're not doing the super nanny chair. We're just going to ban people because they really weren't a part of your community anyway. You're not banning your community members. The people that are a part of your family and your family community and your circle wouldn't be that troll person. It's going to be just like this random, like Tish said, somebody that's, doesn't have online etiquette, and they're just trying to push people's buttons to see how far they can go, to see if they can get you upset. So don't let them. And so instead of getting upset and allowing it to take away and start to rattle and shake up your nerves a little bit, understand that in the face of that negative stuff, go over and block and ban. Don't let it take away your joy. Because you should have joy streaming, or you shouldn't be doing it. Don't let them steal your joy. Because that's really ultimately, they're just trying to do it for attention, or they think it's fun and games, or whatever. You could do a whole list of reasons why people bully. It's going to look like the same exact middle grades list, though, that they use for advocacy groups. Do y'all remember advisory groups in middle school where you'd have to go at the counseling office and you could have a peer advisory council? People could sit around in a room and they could try to help resolve issues in the middle school happening world. They got a list on the reasons why people bully. Do you think that changes when the people get older and they're toxic and they're online social media platforms, or all of these platforms? They all have these same similar reasons for bullying. What's your response going to be? You've got to neutralize the situation, and you've got to remove that person from the situation, because you control, honestly, it's your community. You control it. And I'm not saying about like you're the puppet, you're controlling it. That's not what I mean. You also need to recognize that your energy can be felt through the screen. If you're stressed out and worried and getting angry and frustrated and in the middle of this, and you're raging and people on the other side, they're going to just be like, I didn't come here for this mess, unless they like that drama mess. And that's what they like to see. So for me, in my community, I'm hoping that they'll come here because they'll know that it's a place for them to be able to chill, hang out, get some productive work time in, maybe get some tutorials in. So today was like not even about tutorials. It was really just about toxic people. We've been talking about this for an hour because there's so many things we could say about like toxic people. But you need to do filters too. And you need to go and look up YouTube, how to create filters, how to set up your accounts. So if people do start to put things, yeah, I think it's a good relevant topic, especially when you're new to a platform. You set the stage to your platform, Tish, but you can also set filters. I love that about Twitch. And you can write things in tons of different ways. So that way, people, if they are going to get into your chat, then they're not going to be able to do it. So I would really suggest that you have a really great filter system and at least one moderator, 1 to 2 moderators that are on standby that can help you in case of an emergency. Like I've got my moderators that have already been set up, but because my chat isn't like one of those streaming chats that you can see where hundreds of people are streaming and I'm not able to keep up with it, I don't need to call on them. But guess what? The minute I text them and say, hey guys, I need a moderator. I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. Then I have my backup. They're there. I can handle it right now. I can go over because I've got Chatterino downloaded. But because, I hit the wrong button. But because I have been in such a positive environment lately during the live streams, I haven't had to worry about the negative people popping in. It's when my live streams on YouTube get like put up, that's when people are going in later and they're making comments under my streams. It's not during the lives itself, it's after the videos have been posted. And so I'm easily every day, of course, you know me, I'm checking my stuff every single day. I have it all in this like bars underneath my Google of my saved favorite bookmarks. And I just go boom, 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 boom. And I hit everything and I check. And so I'm able to become aware of it. And I also downloaded the YouTube Studio, the app. So that way, anytime somebody does comment, I'm able to get it on the go. So if it's something that's next, the filters will not just eliminate a lot of things, but it will allow you to eliminate things that could possibly bring red flags to your channel. So you need to investigate and research the way to type in the filters. I'm very thankful that I have Twitch Expert at my disposal who actually helped me set up my channel. And the filter box was honestly like filled up with this much of different words that people would not be able to go in and type in. That would block it. So I love that that stuff is available on Twitch. That gives you a greater sense of security. But then if you start to see like, so you filter, you have moderators, then you have to make decisions. Number 3, how you're going to lead. Are you going to give somebody a warning and just say, as nice as you can, not without getting, this is a great community, a positive Christian community where we don't do these things in our chat. Just to let you guys know that this chat is a place where we don't talk like that. You can do that because people may be used to that in somebody else's channel. So you can decide whether or not you would like to do a call out. You wouldn't have to necessarily say, Tish, come on, you don't do that over here, and try to like call them out and start engaging like that. But you can just bring it quickly to the attention of the troll. Like, I see you. That's not how we operate here. And if you continue to do that, I just, for the safety of our community, for the sake of our positive vibes, you're out of here. I mean, you could do that. And that's why I want you to have that fear of the unknown taken away. So, one, accepting that toxic mess is pretty much the inevitable, that it can happen, right? Just accept it. Two, what are you going to do when you come face to face with it? We said avoiding it is not the answer. That didn't work. That just allowed 50 more comments of foolishness. And I regret it. So I'm telling you not to do that. So what can you do? You need to decide what's best for you as the leader of your platform. And you need to protect your followers. You need to give them a positive place to hang out. So there cannot be any guilt about it. Can't feel guilty because you took that person's comment away. It was not bringing value to your channel, to your chat, or to you. And it was going to affect your personal well-being. The more you had to sit there and look at it, because you know full well you would walk away. And I know that this is sad and bad, or whatever you want to say. If you get 10 compliments, let's say you go to a luncheon and you're sitting there at this banquet, and you get 10 compliments, and then you get this one negative comment from somebody. They say, oh, those shoes, that really don't go with that outfit or something. You're talking and you're like, did that person just say that? You are going to walk away from that luncheon. You had 10 positive things said to you, but this one negative comment is that one little piece of junk that got in your brain, and that's the thing that could stay with you. So you're going to have to learn to be like those sand filters at the beach. So do you remember like those sand buckets when you were taking your kids to the beach, or you went to the beach yourself as a child, and it had the sifter, and you could sift through, get the shells, and you'd love to drag it through? You're going to have to learn to sift through all of that, because your community is full of unique shells, beautiful shells that are contributing with you, that are hanging out with you, spending time with you. All of that grittiness, that dirt, that sand, just let all of that stuff just fall all through and only focus on the shells. Because you're not probably going to be taking that filtered, all of that sand and that grit with you home. What are you taking home with you? You're taking the shells that you've collected home with you. So let your community be that home of beautiful shells, and leave that grit and that sand and all that dirt away. And then you will have a beautiful place that you've created online, a unique, rich environment where your people can actually engage with one another. And just feel like this is, we might be all different shells here. We might be all mixed up around in here in this seashell collection. But we have a place here. We are all connected here. Don't let the toxic mess live. Sift it out. Let it be somewhere else, not with you and not with your community. And so just be strong and do not fear, because the Lord your God is with you, even when you're on a stream. That's the beautiful thing about your relationship with Jesus. It doesn't cut off when you say, oh, I'm going online. Jesus ain't here now. No, Jesus is here too. And when you end this broadcast or you end this stream, Jesus is still with you. And so if you have to face some kind of toxic mess, it's the only thing that I can tell you is it's trying to block your message. It's trying to either intimidate you, tear you down, make you second guess why you're doing this work. Do not allow that to happen, please. And so that's my little 1 hour stream for the day. And I love you guys. Tish, I hope you're doing good. I'm loving me some Twitch. I know that. I talk to my people all the time, and I'm like, you'll find a place where you feel the most comfortable. You'll find the place where you love. Yeah, and I just love this environment. And so far, I have interacted with such positive people, and I really love to support places where I can just feel comfortable. When I don't feel comfortable in like a group, I'm just not going to speak up. So there's like a writing group that I'm not comfortable speaking up. I don't share a lot because it's not a safe place. People have been attacking people on there. I've seen it happen. I've had to talk about it behind the scenes with people, and I'm like, I'm not putting myself out there like that. I'm just gonna like not engage. I'm not gonna, and that's sad. That means that that community is pretty toxic. And then who wants to be a part of that? Yeah, I mean, so how are you going to set up your space? This is your domain. Look, my little space right here is to connect myself with you and to share the message. When you walk into my space and become a part of the community, are you going to feel comfortable? Are you going to be able to show up in your pajamas and just relax and have your coffee and just say, oh, this is just some peaceful time? Yeah. But if you knew that there was a lot of toxic mess and that there were people all in the chat that were saying ridiculous junk, wouldn't that get you angry? It would get you mad. You would want to start defending. You would say, this is old. Why are these people? I mean, it would give you some kind of frustration feeling because it's like natural. It's a natural response. However, are you going to allow that to happen in your community? Are you going to continue to smile and engage with the people that are there for you? Because if you then start turning your energy towards that negativity and feeding that, then that's going to change that atmosphere in your own community, in your group. And so you've got to lead with that positive force. You've got to lead with that strength. Yeah. It will change the space. And I had to learn that the hard way. But you know what? My friend, she shows up for every one of my like Facebook lives, even today. It did not deter her. Yeah, I would suggest you do that. And assign moderators. You need at least one or two moderators that you can have on your channel. That way, if you're holding an event, they're able to also help you behind the scenes. And so that's easy to set up too. So I would suggest you do both of those. But yeah, it's not their job to fight for you. And it's not nice to have them sit in that mess. I know, but I'm a protector too. And I'm also someone, it wouldn't make me, but I'd get defensive. Yeah. That's what my friend did. She was like tooth for nail. I mean, she was like at it. The dude would say something, she would come right back, and it just kept going back and forth, back and forth. And I was like, you know what? I just kept on doing my Bible study. After it was over, I apologized to her. I was like, I didn't know how to do it. Like, I didn't know how to stop. I didn't know how to stop him and fix it. And I'm sorry that you had to do that. And she was like, it was a great teaching moment with her kids because her kids got to see. And so we actually, like, after this was on a Facebook Live, I started doing a mom's Bible study series. Yeah. And it was for moms to then give them and equip them with some basic Bible study. So that way over the summertime, they could go and have like Bible study with their little ones. And so I was talking to moms. Yeah. And it was open to everybody. And it was, how dare you? You're a woman. You can't talk about the Bible. Women need to be silent. You better shut up. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was like, yes. It was 50 some comments of that mess and long comments, not just like one little word. And my friend was on there like duking it out. I'm like, why did I do that? And then I went in and deleted all the comments because then you can delete them and you can block them. And that's what I do. Yeah. He's picking on women of Jesus, women of Christ, and sisters in Christ. And she took up for me, but she didn't need to. And I learned the hard way. But hey, I got a story to tell you guys, so that way y'all can learn from me. And so that's the thing. Sharing your message can bring attention. You just have to accept that. But don't let it stop you from sharing your message. I've got a lot of messages to share. I got a lot of tutorials to do. Oh my gosh, something amazing happened today. I know I'm going over my life, but I got to tell you what happened today before we get off. So I woke up this morning and I had a wonderful email in my inbox from a company who knows that I'm out doing tutorials. They have seen how I'm promoting Canva. So they're like specifically like knowing, okay, we saw how you're promoting Canva. We see how you're out there talking about this product. Have you ever heard about our product? Because we're out there and we do a lot of similar things, and we will give you the premium if you try it out and then share it out and do a tutorial with your viewers. And I'm like, for real? I'm like, I get a new platform and I get it for free and it's a premium. I was like, so I emailed them right away, like without any hesitation. Oh, I would love to. And I signed up for their webinar. And so I'm not going to reveal it till I get everything set up, but they sent me like the webinar link. They're going to teach me like the ins and outs of it. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm in. And so if I would have stopped spreading my message, if I would have stopped being me because someone is trolling and putting inappropriate things, then the good things can't happen. You've got to stay consistent and you got to be out there, but you can't let the negative toxicity drag you down. You got to continue to do you and figure out you. I know me. I'm a teacher. I love teaching people. I wouldn't be teaching full time in the daytime to my youngins. I wouldn't be doing homeschool at night. I'm a teacher by heart. I want to teach people. And so tutorials work for me. The how-tos work for me. It's because I like to share things in real time. If I would allow people to kind of, their negative comments drag me down, then I would start second guessing my worth as a streamer. I have just as right to be a streamer at 45 almost. I'm going to be 45 on the 28th. As anybody starting out streaming, as any young person streaming. This is a platform for everybody, to anybody. And so don't give up, be encouraged. So, all right. I hope that you have a wonderful, blessed day. I hope that I've helped somebody out there in the world today. And thank you for letting me kind of get on my soapbox, because I want to just keep encouraging you to not stop, to not give up, and just, if it's going to happen, at least you have this time to build the scenarios in your head, because that's what I didn't do, Tish. I didn't build the scenarios. I was naive about it. And so I walked into an online platforms without recognizing that mean, vicious people can be out there. People can try to use other people's platforms and their place in their audience to try to put and spread bad links and things like that. It's sneaky and it's slimy and it's so trolly, and I understand that it's sad. But when you realize that it can happen, and you go ahead and don't go to the next step and say, well, here's what I'm going to do in case that happens. When it does happen to you, you are still going to be able to be present with your community. And it's not going to allow you to go into that fierce protective mode. It's just going to allow you to continue on even keeled, allow yourself to be present in the moment and engage with your followers, engage with your community without allowing it to negatively affect your spirit. Because then you'll get kind of fumbled around in the middle of the stream. You'll just start worrying so much about that you will even forget what your content was. And then it's going to completely drain your energy if that's what you allow yourself to be focused on. So you control all of that. That's the beauty of being a leader on a platform. You have that ultimate control. So get control of it now and understand what you would do if this would happen. Me, I'm just going to go over and I'm going to block. And if I can't block, then I'm going to find ways to block. I'm going to message my moderators and say, look, I forgot. I need help. I'll call them on the phone. Hey, jump on my stream really fast. And they're Twitch experts. And I'm like, jump on really fast. I don't have to give them a tutorial on how to be a moderator. They're actually moderators on other channels, which is good for me because they've had experience as a moderator. And so then they can just go into my stuff and go do and do what they got to do. So if I forget to pull up Chatterino, like I forgot to do, and something happens and I can't use those little buttons and delete, then definitely have to have somebody there to support and do it. If I have to pause and so streaming is also awesome because here's another reason why I like streaming. I like streaming because it's real time, real life. Mine's unscripted anyway. But if I'm giving a 10-minute tutorial on how to find or how to build let's say how to build promotional materials using Canva, I'm just going to throw that one out there. And I'm just trying to teach people how to make an Instagram post, right? And that's all it is. And it's just a YouTube video. That one is going to be pre-recorded. That's not going to be live. That's a little snippet of something, or doesn't have all this talk to it. And it doesn't have all of this chat with it. It's just me doing this quick how-to, and I put it up there. I like to streams better because I can talk, I can engage, I can hit share screen, I can have planned episodes like that. And if I had to go and give Sam the computer for piano lessons, people are used to people just saying, hey, I'll be right back, guys. I got to go fill up on coffee. I'm going to put it on mute a minute and I'll be back. And if somebody shows up, guys, in the chat, y'all just let them know I went for a potty break or whatever. It's like you're hanging out with people. So different. It's such a different feel than if you're doing like a planned episode, like a podcast episode or an interview. It's just different. But if I'm having trouble with my chat, I got to figure it out. I got to say, okay, now my chat's getting big. I need moderators. Or I have to pull up my secondary computers that I have on the side and have that YouTube screen up and then have that Twitch screen up. If I need to be doing things like that, you can make it look like a complete space station in your little space. And you could have something pulled up to where you would be able to moderate over on YouTube, to where you would be able to stop people from making those comments or something on your channel. You can find ways. So it's best for you to research those things now. So that way, that fear of the unknown goes away. So then you don't have fear. Because if it happens, you can react quickly, swiftly. You can get it all done. You can take care of it. You can continue on with your stream. You can keep chatting with your people and not let it affect you. All right. I hope that you guys have a great day. And I'm off. And I'm making tacos for supper. So I got to go in and start getting ready for all of that because the kids will be like, when are we eating? And it's only 4:30. But I hope you guys have a blessed one. Yeah, love you, Tish.